Hey everybody, welcome to this weekly update for you. I am Editor-in-Chief of Car Wash Magazine, Matt DeWolf, and your host on this adventure every single week as we bring you everything that you need to stay connected to the car wash industry and know what's going on. Now, the other part of our goal is we want to give you one key takeaway every single week, at least one, so that you can take that back to your business and make improvements and make sure that you continue to do great things in this industry. All right, let's get into it, shall we? All right, so no jokes for you this week. My daughter gave you a great one last week. I'm going to work on some material for you all, though. I've got some stuff I'm going to try and see how I can do it, writing fresh car wash jokes. So wish me luck. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. Okay, so what's going on? Well, friends, we are less than 24 hours away here from an automotive tech webinar for you. That's tomorrow, October 26th, because guess what? This is an ICA members only event. It's tomorrow. You have to sign up for it. You have to be a member. That's the only way you can find out what kind of automotive technology is coming up from ICA's automotive consultant, Derek Kaufman, and what that might do to your business in this industry. So really interesting stuff. Derek Kaufman's presentations are always top notch, and there's always a ton to take out of those. So make sure you get signed up for those. The other thing here that I want to talk about super briefly is the Exhibitor Bootcamp. Right, so there is a car wash show. I don't know if you all have heard about it. It is the car wash show happening in Las Vegas, May 8th through 10, at the Las Vegas Convention Center in the West Hall. Look, when you're exhibiting at these types of shows and trade shows and putting energy and effort and resource into these, you want to make sure that you are getting return. And one of the best ways to do that is through the Exhibitor Bootcamp. This is a complimentary program. There's two options for you. There's an on-site version on December 7th. And then there's an online-only version on December 13th. So what are the differences? Well, it's pretty straightforward, right? So it's really comes down to complexity of your booth and maybe the booth size, right? So if you need to be meeting with the expo group, or you need to be meeting with the convention center, or you really feel like you need to see the West Hall to kind of figure out some of those sponsorship opportunities that might be available to you, you should go do this thing face-to-face. If that's not you, that's all right. Maybe you should just do the online version. But great opportunity either way. Make sure you attend one of these opportunities because, again, you want to make sure you're getting return on the money you're putting in. All right. That's my soapbox moment for you today. Let's get into what's happening this week in car washing because there's a lot. And I don't know where exactly to categorize these things this week, so we're gonna take our best shot at it. So we're calling this Greenfield. This is Magnolia Wash Holdings adding 6 locations across North Carolina. For Magnolia, they kind of keep a lot of their brands, but in this section here of the United States, they are doing 6 locations in 2 different brands. So 4 of those are Wave Car Wash locations in Fayetteville and Durham, and then the other 2 are Whistle Express. Those are rebranding locations in Mount Airy and Greensboro, North Carolina. So that's what's happening with them. Congratulations to them on their continued growth. Everybody's growing, right? Everybody's growing. Speaking of growth, this is one that I didn't know if it was Greenfield or M&A. It's a little bit of both, but TakeFive is celebrating 17 locations in Colorado. They're doing that as they kind of continue this brand effort to turn their locations into TakeFive. So this is Driven Brands, right? So they are moving into this national brand of TakeFive, which kind of aligns here with their oil change side of the business. So really fascinating stuff, really cool. Fun to watch what they're doing on that front. They did that with these grand openings with a October 20 through 24 free washes at these locations. And they partnered up with a local charity there to raise some funds for children who have medical emergencies and families who need some support with those. And so, again, good example about making this thing about more than washing cars. All right, what else do we have? Well, we have some news coming out of Car Wash Advisory. So Car Wash Advisory has a couple of deals that they've closed on here lately. One of those is Wash and Fill, selling to Riddy stores. So that's a really convenience store focused situation, but that adds 2 locations to the Riddy store brand family there in Ohio, taking them to, I believe, 18 locations. And then the other thing from Car Wash Advisory, Splash and Eco has purchased Blue Hen. Splash and Eco is about 40 locations operating in Maryland, Delaware, and the Virginia area. And so that has happened. And then here's another one for you in the M&A space, right? So Amplify has facilitated the sale of JetBrite to Zips. This brings Zips into that Chicago market. JetBrite had 11 locations there. A really great operation there. And fun fact, my favorite sweatshirt was a JetBrite sweatshirt. So one of my favorite brands in this industry, run by one of my favorite people in this industry, Dave D'Alessandro. So big news there on that front. Will be really interesting to see what happens there, because this makes Zips 61st location added in 2022, right? So that's a lot of growth. That brings them up to almost 275 locations across the United States. That's a big number. They do it under 3 brands: Zips, Rocket Express, and now JetBrite. So big news for them. We'll be watching what they do here as we kind of charge into 2023. What else do we have? Well, speaking of my favorite brands, I was talking about my JetBrite sweatshirt. Woody's Wash Shack is one of my favorite brands here in this industry, because it just looks cool and they have a good vibe about them. But also because they do great things, right? So they are collecting donation relief for Hurricane Ian, and they're doing that all month. They've collected thousands and thousands of pounds of food. You might say tons of food. Get it? Yeah, of course you do. But congratulations to Woody's. Thank you so much for what you all are doing in this industry to really make it easy to shine a light on the great things that we do. Now, last thing I've got for you all. We've been talking for a long time about the growth of this industry, right? And how much things are kind of just off the charts in terms of growth. Well, we're starting to see some of those signs of a little bit of a peel back, right? And so we had the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with Jeff Pavone from Amplify. We're going to be having more conversations like this with others in this space, but Jeff is a very knowledgeable guy. He is a longtime industry veteran. Amplify has been involved in a lot of transactions here this year. So we had a chance to talk to him. Here's a little taste of what we've got coming up for you this week in the podcast in a 2-part episode. So check out this tidbit from Jeff.
At the end of the day, if you really are looking to drive memberships, what do you need? You need marketing, you need training. And so the smart guys will spend more money on operating costs, but they'll generate more sales and ultimately have a bigger bottom line. But it may not be a bigger margin than the next guy, but it will be a bigger net profit because they're driving more sales. But to do that, you've got to make investment in your operating team. And it's all the great companies, JetBrite included. I got to tell you, they have one thing in common. Every one of them, they care deeply about their team. They invest heavily in those people, and they do care about them. And so on an exit, they care about the culture and where their company's going.
All right, so we had some time to talk about that JetBrite deal with Jeff, but we talk a lot about what we're kind of calling the great market reset, right? And what does that mean? What does it look like? What does that mean for you and your business? So we get into that conversation. That's going to drop on Thursday. That's part 1. And you got to tune in on the next Thursday to pick up on part 2 of that. And like I said, we're going to be having some conversations like that with really smart folks in this industry over the next several months as we just keep our pulse on what's going on and make sure that, again, we're bringing you what you need to know about the professional car washing industry. So, friends, that is all I've got for you this week. When you're out there, there is only one thing you've got to do, and you know exactly what that is. Keep it clean.